The next thing we're going to look at on the menu is View. Under View, you will find Full Screen, Transparent Background, Inner Dual Write Mode, Dual Display, Zoom, Next Page, Previous Page, Screen Capture, Screen Shade, Intermixed Reality Mode, Show All Links when pages open, Show Sidebar, Sidebar Options, Toolbar Options, Extended Page, Full Screen Page Border, Alignment, and Language Setup. One of the great things about Notebook, as I've said before, is redundancy. You will find a lot of those tools right here. Your view screen, that first group, full screen, transparent background, dual page display, the zoom, everything is all right here. What does full screen do? Full screen will take away all of your menus and panels and your tabs and put you in a display view. This is very much like PowerPoint's presentation mode. This is where if you've made anything in Smart Notebook for students to interact with, or you're showing a presentation that you would want to show from. It looks like you don't have any of your tools with you. Well, yes, you do. Down here, you have your tools. You have previous page, move forward a page. You have everything that's in your action panel and your tools panel. You have extend page in case you need to make it longer. This is your exit full screen view, and right here you have your toolbar options where it will add a page. It'll show your undo button, select buttons. Here's your pins, and then right here it gives you the rest of your choices yet again. So it just depends on which mode that you need. Okay, I'm going to leave full screen. Next thing we're going to look at is transparent background. For transparent background, think of using an old overhead with transparencies, how you'd lay things down. And what I mean by that is when I click on this, whatever's behind it is what will be seen. Okay, you can see the stuff I have up over here. So what you can do, this gives you the ability to go in and do markup. Say you're doing something with your students and you're covering a particular page. Go in, do whatever you need to. And that way you're actually writing on a notebook page even though you don't see anything. If you want to keep it, it would stay like this, and you can save, but when you save, you will revert back to this, and you would only see your markup down there without that. Because remember, this is just like laying a transparency over something and writing on it. Now, the next thing you want to do, anytime you have a pen, by the way, that you've used, you always have to click on this button, select, and that will put you back to having your cursor. Okay, after that, next thing you have is dual page display. Before I can do that, I need to add a page because this is a two-page display. Adding a page. Okay, now we have two pages, and if I go to dual mode, you will see the two pages that are up there. They'll always show here the previous page and the page you were on, or if you do it while you're on this page, it'll show this page and the page that's going to come next. This is great for creating activities that you want to do comparisons with. So you have one page that looks one way, you have one page that looks another. You have your students do compare and contrast. If you happen to have a smart panel in your classroom, you can come back and use the inner dual write mode. That way two students can write on separate sides at the same time. It gives you lots of options. Okay, we're going to get out of that. We're going to go to single page display. Navigate back to our lead page. Next you have all these. These are your percentage increases. Same thing that you see right here. Just like there. Entire page. This is going to make the view for the entire page. Red line denotes the bottom of the page. Blue line denotes the bottom of the page. Page width. As you work the page width and have all this where it extends down, it really depends on what I'm doing. when I decide how to use that. But for normal view, this is what I'll use. So it's up to you to choose which one you're most comfortable with. Okay. I'll come back up here to view. You have your next page, which moves you just to the next page. Same thing with this button right here will do. Move back. Of course, previous page. So just use your arrow buttons here. Screen capture tool. This is a very neat tool. We'll click on that. Okay, when the capture tools come up, what you will have is this first one, which is a capture to just choose a square or rectangle area to capture. When you capture something, just drag it across it and let it go. After you let it go, it'll come up. It'll ask you how you want to save it. You will send this to clipboard to save, paste somewhere else, or do you want to do something else? This allows you to go in and do something different with it than just putting on clipboard. You can send to a new page of Smart Notebook, send to current page, which will put it right back on here, save it as an image to your desktop, or choose a location to save it. In this case, I'm going to say choose a location to save it. I'm going to go find a place on my desktop, and I want to go right here, capture, until it's saved. The next one you have is a full screen capture, and what we'll allow you to do is save it or put it somewhere else, just like that other option. These options are always given. I'm going to take and say send to save on desktop, and I'm going to cancel that. Alright, next we have full screen capture. Tap window to make it capture. You tap on the window, takes the whole thing. So I'm going to cancel that out. And the last one is a trace capture. It allows you to come in and draw around the object, tracing it. And it only captures the area that you drew around. So one of the great things about this capture tool is that you can be out on your computer anywhere, have that, and be doing captures. Like say I wanted to capture something off of here and use it in a presentation. Okay, I sent that to a new SmartBook page. Let's go back and look, and there it is. That is on another page that was created, and automatically it was added to. So you can go through and create different things, getting images off the internet with this. This works the same way as you could think of Snippet or any other screen capture type programs. Okay, let's go ahead and go back. I'll go to page sorter, move back to the first page I was on. And we are going to close this and move on. After screen capture, you have screen shade. Screen shade is a great tool, and it's also found right here. What this allows you to do is to cover a screen so that students or people that you're presenting to cannot see what you've got on the screen. If you open the page sorter where everything is, you will see it also grays out the page sorter. So this way they can't see anything if you need to bring this up during the presentation. You can go through and you can even do screen shade from right there off of the sorter. Now, you can use this to do reveals, revealing things in whatever manner you want to. Reveal like that. You can also add like that and still keep areas covered. Okay. If you don't want to keep screen shade open and use it with that anymore, you can simply click on the little X in the corner and it goes away. Okay. After screen shade, we have intermixed reality view. You are not going to worry about this. Intermixed reality mode does not work unless you have a camera attached to your computer, and it has to be one of the smart cameras, so for document readers, not cameras, so don't worry about that. Okay, show links and show all links. What that does is if you have an object linked, let's take and say I'm just going to go out and link. I'm going to link this to Wise County. I'll tell it OK. I'll link the object so it remains hidden. And I come back and I click on Show All Links. It's going to take and do that. That way you know there's a link on the page. If I have more than one link on the page, I can do Show All Links when page opens. What that would do is when you come to a page, it's going to show where all these links are. So imagine that you have students and you've made this as an independent station for children to work at. Just imagine the use of that for finding hidden links. Sometimes you might create an activity that students are using and they may not remember where the links are, be able to find them. They can go to that and they can use that to find it. Or if you've made one and you want to make it obvious to the students as they're working together, you can go over and use it with them. All depends on how you want to use it. Okay, show sidebar. All that does is open up the sidebar where the tabs are. Sidebar options, which you do it to the left or right. Now, one thing that this is also going to do, or can be done, is you can use this arrow right here to flip it back and forth without having to go up there and open that. It's a lot easier just to be here and move it to there. Somebody might ask, why would you be flipping it back and forth? Depends on which side of the board you're standing on, and you're using that on a smart panel, smart board, or a interactive display in the classroom. Next, show toolbars, top or bottom. Notice it moved everything down here. One thing though, you notice these arrows over here. Click on that. A lot easier just to use this. With younger students in the classroom, you're probably going to move everything down here for them to use. So that's what that is for. Extended view. What this does is it allows everything to stretch down off the screen past its normal right there. So we're not going to worry about that. Turn it back off. Full screen border. This is something you're usually not going to mess with, is how you want to know how you show your borders, and depends on what size your screen is. A lot of times I will just leave it under don't show or what it defaults to. So it's not a great thing you need to worry about, but if you notice that you have things showing up weirdly in full screen mode, this might be how you want to come back and arrange that. Alright, last thing is alignment. Alignment lets you come in and set snaps, such as snap object to guide, show guides of actives. I will show you how it breaks down everything. First one, show guides for active objects, verticals, horizontals. Now I'm going to take and say OK, and it just breaks everything down into different quarters. The last thing that was here is snap objects to guide. What that would do is act as a snap and show your lines moving and allow you to snap the objects directly in line. This is all optional. You don't have to use this. These are just here as guides to help. The last thing you see right here is language setup. Under language setup, what this would allow you to do is go in and change everything to a foreign language. My advice is to leave it as is. Okay, the next thing we'll look at after this video is insert. If you have any questions, please let me know.